Oh, and welcome back to Annihilation. Lethal Mathematics now making his way to the ring during this break here. As he's about to address... Oh, wait, Yoshino from behind taking out Mathematics. And Yoshino trying to get retribution for last week. Yamasaki Yoshino from nowhere just took out Lethal Mathematics on the stage. And now Yoshino just staring down Lethal Mathematics. And what I meant to say before is it wasn't last week, it was at bragging rights that these two went one-on-one. These guys' rivalry has grown since the fact that Yamasaki Yoshino attacked Lethal Mathematics' mentor MVP. Mathematics absolutely decimated and destroyed Yoshino at bragging rights. And now Yoshino is back and he's attacking Mathematics from behind here in London, England. And now look at this, another arm drag on the outside of the ring, and Yoshino is able to get the dupe on Mathematics. Mathematics had no idea this beatdown was taking place. Mathematics was going to address the crowd again like he did last week. And I mean, like I said before, these guys will meet each other at Starcade in a first blood match. And you see now Mathematics in trouble as Yoshino is doing damage with the sledgehammer. And oh! Yeah, shot to the ribs there by Yamasaki Yoshino. And again, sledgehammer absolutely doing nothing but sheer damage on Mathematics. And now, what a kick to the face there by Yoshino. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an unscheduled beatdown by Yamasaki Yoshino. And Mathematics was unable to say anything he wanted to say, as Yoshino was just pounding the hell out of him. Like I said, this is first blood. This is what this is all about. So this rivalry has gone out of hand between these two. And look at Yoshino just beating away at Mathematics. And now Yoshino underneath the ring picking up a steel chair. And we've seen the kind of damage that Yoshino does with that steel chair. And that shot to the face there. He's going to try and bust Mathematics open. Said Yoshino has done some sick things in the MPWF. He ran a man over in a false count anywhere match. He tried to break someone's neck. And, oh, STO on the steel chair. Yoshino used to be the top guy, the leader of the cabinet. And now look at Yoshino throwing the chair to Mathematics and a punch to the face, breaking the chair of the Mathematics head, and another takedown there by Yoshino. And referee Marty McFly trying to tell Yoshino to stop, but there's nothing he can do about this. Nothing at all. And there's a spraying the green mist in the eyes of Mathematics. And ladies and gentlemen, Yoshino's going to hit him with the Fascist Exploder. A devastating move, and hopefully Yoshino is done with this beatdown. Hopefully Yoshino has had enough. Yoshino heading to the outside of the ring. I thought he was going for another weapon. Thank God he didn't. And now Yoshino undoing the turnbuckle. And now what has he got planned for Mathematics? As we mentioned before, this is an unscheduled beatdown by Yamasaki Yoshino. As now Mathematics in trouble. Oh my God. Mathematics going face first onto the steel ring. And I mean, look at this. The brass ring underneath the turnbuckle. As Yoshino is just pounding away Mathematics' head on it. Non-stop. And Mathematics surely must be concussed from these headshots. Vicious beat down there by Yoshino. And you can see that Mathematics has been busted open. And Yamasaki Yoshino now sending a message for their first blood match at MPWF Starcade. Yoshino and the Mathematics blood pouring out of his head. Yoshino proud of his actions for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whilst Mathematics is being treated on, we're going to get ready for a main event tag team match, which will be scheduled next. And some huge boos for this tag team here tonight. And there is Cash Money Incorporated, legendary Tyrone Fitzgerald and the Avenger, accompanied with Deborah Dangerous. They say the Avenger and Deborah Dangerous aren't in happy moods at all. I mean, the Avenger is pissed off about losing the tag team titles. Deborah Dangerous is pissed off at the fact that Tiffany won't give them a shot at the tag team titles. But the only thing that it seems that Tyrone Fitzgerald is focused on is his match at Starcade. He is focused on becoming the MPWF champion. He can give a damn about winning back the World Tag Team Championships with the Avenger. And it seems that, I mean, there's a bit of issues brewing between these two here on Cash Money Incorporated. And Deborah Dangerous has got to bring them together. She's got to find a way to get these two to work together in this matchup, because their opponents are going to be down for the fight. Their opponents are going to want to gain all the momentum in the world before Starcade. And you speak of a person who is pumped up for Starcade. We saw the conversation earlier between Antonio Goldman and Craig David. Craig David asked Goldman, "Are you ready?" Goldman said, "I was born ready." He said that this is what I came to the MPWF to do, to be on top. And at Starcade, I will leave the MPWF champion. For the past couple of weeks, Antonio Goldman has found himself in a feud, a rivalry with his new adversary, Tyrone Fitzgerald. Tyrone Fitzgerald was the man who was responsible for bringing Goldman to the MPWF in the first place. And Fitzgerald, I mean, cheated to defeat, I guess, his former student at bragging rights. Well, here Goldman cost him the tag team titles last week, and now he looks to gain further retribution in this tag team match, where they will meet each other inside the ring. It's going to be interesting to see how these two prepare for each other in this matchup. Will there be a beatdown between these two? Well, I mean, well, there's certainly going to be a fight, but so we got to stay tuned and see how this main event rolls out here tonight at MPWF Annihilation episode 10. And again, make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you watch the show from the beginning, because it's been one hell of an event. And here's one man who's been kind of swept under the rug in this whole thing. I mean, you have the feud between Fitzgerald and Antonio Gorman. You got a feud between Apollo and the Black Giant. And again, if you haven't watched the show from the beginning, you have to see the steel cage match for the MPWF Championship. The Black Giant and Apollo tore down the house. Craig David was a former champion, and he's kind of been just swept aside in this whole thing. But that makes Craig David the dark horse at MPWF Starcade. Craig David can be the guy to come out of nowhere and take that championship. It's a scramble match. Anyone can be the champion. Anyone can win. I mean, Craig David definitely has the credentials, definitely has the skills to win it. The 2010 Royal Rumble winner was that man right there, so Craig David. MPWF champion, the man who won the title at WrestleMania, was Craig David. He held that title all the way to Survivor Series, and he's looking to get it back at Starcade. Craig David is afraid of no one and regrets less. Craig David is ready to go tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Can the superstar really show how much of a superstar he is? And here we go. In typical on Tyrone Fitzgerald's part, he wants no part of Antonio Gorman in this tag match. And the Avenger said, "You want to get in?" Fitzgerald told him no. Fitzgerald wants the Avenger to take out Gorman, and Gorman is challenging Fitzgerald, but I guess we're heading to the collar to elbow tie-up between these two. I mean, the Avenger has had 2 shots at Antonio Gorman in singles competition and failed to beat him both times, but has got closer every time he faces Gorman. Antonio Gorman also hasn't been able to defeat Tyrone Fitzgerald. So, I mean, will that change tonight? Will we see Antonio Gorman get a victory over his arch nemesis? Right there, he hits his patented Samoan drop, a move that he likes to use a lot. And I mean a lot when he's in the ring. Now the Avenger using his strength, a big elbow to the head there. Craig David being smart, pulling back the Avenger. And now here we have every man in this matchup as being a former tag team champion here on YouTube. Antonio Gorman actually won the MPWF Undisputed Tag Team Championships with Apollo at WrestleMania against the Natural Disasters. There's a Samoan drop there by Antonio Gorman. Craig David is a multi-time tag team champion with the Super Sparks Brothers. Well, with the Super Sparks Brothers, Tony Sparks, as they used to be a part of the tag team Superstardom in the day. A nice move taking Antonio Gorman to the outside of the ring. And now look at Fitzgerald. Now Fitzgerald is taking out Antonio Gorman as he's worn out on the outside. And see, this is what Tyrone Fitzgerald does. He likes to take advantage of his opponents, take advantage of situations, and that's the veteran instinct. And you can see Craig David holding the Avenger, and Gorman getting a cheap shot there at Tyrone, and Deborah Dangerous is freaking out on the outside of the ring. Now the Avenger pissed off, throwing David back inside, and an elbow there by Gorman. A lot of action already in the beginning of this matchup, and now Antonio Gorman sending the Avenger to the outside of the ring. Again, this is your main event for episode 10 of Annihilation. Again, we are live from London, England, and this crowd has been electric for the entire evening. And now the Avenger throwing Gorman back inside the ring once more, and now has him in a headlock. Gorman in trouble here, and now the Avenger going to go for a suplex, and oh, nice move there. You see how he spins for extra elevation, and Craig David is really getting himself involved in this matchup, and he may have shooken up the Avenger with that sidekick to the rib. May have caught the solar plexus there. Now here comes a double team, and a nice double hip toss there by Craig David. Antonio Gorman, and both men with a nip up. And oh, elbow there by Craig David. Craig David back inside the ring. And I think why Craig David has got himself really involved in this matchup tonight is because Craig David wants to prove to the MPWF fan base that I still have what it takes to be the MPWF champion. Some people in the fan base doubt Craig David, I mean, in this running for the championship. But don't forget, Craig David wasn't the one who was pinned at bragging rights. Craig David, I mean, he did fantastic. I mean, he's a smaller guy going up against the likes of Apollo and the Black Giant. And that's why I'm saying the championship scramble could be his match, but not in that way. As a double team move there by Cash Money Inc. and Tyrone Fitzgerald taunting away at Antonio Gorman. Not a smart move on his part. Gorman there breaking up the count though. So Craig David is very small, very slithery. He could really sneak out that victory and leave the MPWF champion. And that's what's going to be difficult. The Black Giant has really been in situations where he can control them. But at the championship scramble match, he doesn't have to be pinned. Somebody else can pin, and the other person just has to hang on to the title for the next 20 minutes or so, and then they retain the championship. So there's so many factors into this matchup. Nice DDT there by Tyrone Fitzgerald. And that's why it's going to be interesting to watch at Starcade when the MPWF title is on the line. 2-0. Break up there by Antonio Gorman. Now Fitzgerald throwing Craig David into the turnbuckle. And now Fitzgerald sending Craig David on the top. And I've just got in my headset that next week, episode 11 of Annihilation, the last stop before Starrcade. Nice move off the nice crossbody off the top turnbuckle there by David. We will have Fitzgerald going one-on-one with Antonio Gorman. Nice yawn there by DJ Johnny Feelgood. It's been difficult traveling from Japan to England in 1 week. That's a lot of hours of flight time. And then tomorrow night, well, not tomorrow night, but in 2 days, I gotta be back for MPWF War back in the United States. A big slap to the face there by Antonio Gorman. And Gorman now going back for the backdrop, now getting his hand on Tyrone Fitzgerald. Something that a lot of fans want to see. A lot of fans want to see Antonio Gorman get his hands on him. There's a spine buster, ladies and gentlemen. And now Antonio Gorman going for his elbow drop, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the gold elbow by Antonio Gorman. And bang! Drops the elbow right in the heart of Tyrone Fitzgerald. Now going for the cover. If he pins him right now, he will have a lot of momentum heading into not only Starrcade, but into his main event match next week against Fitzgerald. Oh no, Fitzgerald saved there by his tag team partner, the Avenger. It looked like the Avenger was saying something to Tyrone Fitzgerald, probably along the lines of, we need to work together. We need to start thinking about this tag team again. And now Tyrone Fitzgerald running back in the turnbuckle. Nice clothesline there, knocking Antonio Gorman down, and tags in the Avenger. Oh, double elbow to the face there. And I said, Cash Money Inc. wants back, well, the Avenger, Deborah Dangerous want back those tag team titles. And they're going to have to beat the new tag team champions, White Boy Fresh and Blue, on a nice high elevated gorilla press slam there by the Avenger. You can see the Avenger happy with his actions. And now he throws Gorman to the turnbuckle. The Avenger now running back and all, missing the clothesline. Fitzgerald is bugging out on the apron as Gorman was able to get the reversal. Now needs to make the tag to Craig David, which he does. Craig David now inserting himself back in this match. What a kick to the face there, knocking down the Avenger. And now David going to Irish whip, send the Avenger to the turnbuckle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, combination David there by the former MPWF champion. Nice move there by Craig David. Starship Pain, that could be it. Connects. Craig David just has to go for the cover, and this one is all said and done. Here we go, 1, 2. Oh, Tyrone Fitzgerald just breaks up the count, and near fall here in the main event of Annihilation. I know, oh, the Avenger not happy. You got Deborah Dangerous arguing with referee Monty McFly. Doesn't think that the count was good, and it runs right into a second combination David. And now Craig David, all he has to do is hit that super kick, and this one is all said and done. And I'll turn him around here. Now Craig David has him up. Beautiful move there by Craig David. Backdrop into a net breaker. Fantastic elevation, and now drop salt there. Shades of Paul London, sorry, I was about to say Brian Kendrick, and I guess you could say whoever you want to with that move. Take it the way you see it, have it the way you want it. Craig David now with the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, driving the Avenger spine first into the knee. I mean, Craig David needs to get out that corner. He is in the wrong corner right now, the wrong end of town. There's a huge DDT there by Craig David. Now Craig David bouncing off the ropes here, gonna hit the knee right to the face of the Avenger. And ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for a break. When we return, our main event will continue.